Sleep, Doctor.
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman, butchered by some savage scowl.
Would you care to partake in this meal with me?
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent, for there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Have you embraced this woman? Like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they ask.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
Thank you, my lady. I hope to see you again.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that category fellow.
Patients are not fools.
Hey, Doc.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
All I know is I ain't letting anyone rip my throat out in my sleep. I found myself a nice blade, Doc. I'm ready.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff.
What's wrong with the...
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place...
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and...
What are you expecting, a medal?
What's wrong?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my...
I see.
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty...
You're lucky to be alive.
Of course. The sooner...
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox.
Of course.
I'll leave you. Hello again, Mr. Blight. I'm happy to see Mr. Thatcher is safe, for now.
I'm eternally grateful, Doctor. We were total strangers and you helped us anyway. Can't thank you enough, sir.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack.
Go on.
It started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried.
Goodbye, Mr. Hello again, Mr. Thatcher.
Yes, this neighborhood may stink of dog shit and reek of piss.
Do you want to talk about why you have this fear?
No,
An irrational fear like yours is usually root.
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my case.
When I rescued you, you expressed joy at seeing the scar.
Jeez, you're good, Doc. You're really good.
Go on, please. Tell me more about it.
Newton and I were trapped in a circulation tunnel after an artillery attack. We were buried alive for several days without ever knowing if we'd be found.
Oswald, tell me about what happened when you were buried in that tunnel with Newton.
It was more than dark. It was black as pitch. Hours seemed like days, and days like months. Oh, the terror, the shameful thoughts. Lord have mercy.
Shameful thoughts. Tell me about them.
At some point, I don't remember which day, but when I thought we'd never be rescued, that this would be our end, I thought about...
Say it, Mr. Thatcher. If you ever want to heal, you have to say it.
I thought about what I could do to survive, just for a few more days. I thought about killing you, killing and eating him. The man I fucking love.
What you endured was terrifying.
It did not
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me.
I admire your honesty.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day.
Have you always been this strict?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my own...
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said.
Do you need medical...
Don't get me wrong, sir. I'm grateful for what you've done.
I will see you... Goodbye.
lively! It's on to us! There's one of them birds!
An end to you! Leeching!
It's locked, all right.
Sorry, sir. No admittance. Die, vermin! Watch it! It's a killer! Filthy piece of shit! spotted! Watch out, boys! See them fancy clothes? This one's a top! Oh, Christ!
It's locked. Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
I know you're looking for an honest job, Booth. You're tired of this criminal life, aren't you?
It's just an idea. Edwina loves to run things so much. You can never really leave the gang. Wet boys for life, you know.
What can you tell me about this part?
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control it.
Well, you're not doing a very good job.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says...
More efficient? Really? You should probably...
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more...
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are.
So, tell me about...
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your...
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The wet boot boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better...
So you're a concerned...
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you?
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. D.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a...
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Goodbye. Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment, miss.
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
Booth Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
I believe you manipulated Booth Digby to get everything you wanted from him. Both inside and outside the bedroom.
The poor bastard is good to me, if you must know. He makes me feel good. And that's a first.
So you're just like any other couple, after all, are you not?
Yeah, we're so ordinary that I'd put a bullet in his head if he ever cheated on me.
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife and his name means something round here.
You never paid him a visit at the Pembroke Hospital, did you?
And I don't intend to. In Clay's case, I'm not against a medical mistake or a little help from the Spanish flu.
What can you tell me about your
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my...
gang member and shopkeeper?
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor.
You're quite blunt.
I like people who know what they want and say,
I'm not interested in a career in...
fair enough. Stay away from us then.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you...
You sound like you're thinking of...
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That's...
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This...
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Goodbye, Miss.
Foolish girl and her pretty principles. Got no idea.
Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
Is there anything in particular that...
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood.
No reason at all to reject.
Let me tell you a story.
All right.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded him.
You lost people.
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part?
I'm sorry, Mr. Delane.
It's okay. If you ever find the place.
What do you do for a living?
I drink.
Why do you drink?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly.
You sound very sad.
That's because I am.
Don't you work?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I?
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton.
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who?
About the sad saint. I tried.
Goodbye. Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you define as a strange event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
Have you heard of the god?
Of course. They're dedicated
So you hunt alone?
Vampires are just like every other
Were you ever tempted to join?
I did think about it, but I'm more...
What can you tell me?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham?
It's impossible to protect
But it's my duty. I am convinced.
So, how exactly
I patrol late at night.
how do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight.
Have you ever killed one of you?
Of course I have. What kind of...
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up...
Are you asking me to paste posters?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then...
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour. But I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there... they have plenty of reasons to hide.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal. You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people. Funny thing is, though...
Goodbye. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions. Or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What's your...
I take care of my mum. It's what I do.
You seem upset.
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A work...
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. No,
What can you tell me?
a shithole filled with maggots.
Are you thinking about...
Nope. Hate them all.
Is there no one who...
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke.
Any chance you can help me find Sean Hampton?
The sad saint. Why would you talk to that cunt?
Actually, that's...
Really? Well, go ask someone else then. I'm sure Tom Watts...
Goodbye, Mr.
For now, everything seems under control, more or less.
Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What? Ah,
Inebriation aside,
yes.
take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop it.
Goodbye.
Offered a drink to the boy. Be he cursed or not, he's just another lost orphan.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me, then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too. I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But I like her, for sure.
What is bothering you, then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
I should have offered a drink to the boy. Be he cursed or not, he's just another lost orphan.
I can feel it coming in my bones. A hatred. A wave of bitter death around urge our city and rock.
Good evening, Mr. Fitch.
Yeah.
Do you require... I don't know which kind of doctor you're used to dealing with.
And is it your purpose as well, Mr. Reed?
Goodbye, Mr. Fishman.
Another disgusting lunatic, don't you think? I don't think so. Words are clean. A freaking vampire then. Can't say.
Seems like the guard of Prewen is on Sean Hampton's trail, too.
Over there! There's one of them vermin! I'll get you then. There's they fucking birds! What? Cross the leak, boys! Die, vermin!
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable.
See them fancy clothes? This one's a top! Burn it, boys!
have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood.
Leech spotted! Watch out! I'll send you to hell.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Crush the leech, boys! I'll send you to hell. God!
I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable.
It's elite! Kill it! That's got I hate leeches! Crush the leech, boys! Die, Bernie! Eat this! The bloody Christ!
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. This is